to just, this is live. We're live. So I'm just going to go share this from Jesse James Jamnick's wall. You guys, if you're watching this, you can go watch this on Jesse James Jamnick's wall. Otherwise, I'll go and shoot it on my wall as well right here in just a second. Why is it not there on his wall right now? I hope the YouTube live didn't fiddle with it. Refreshing. Okay, I see us now. Oh, and then we disappeared again. There we are. Share. Everyone, this is the ERShred Come Alive call. If you want to reach more people and help more people with this crazy concept and really fun community, ERShred, please go and share this beyond yourself. Share this with everybody that you know, your sphere. I always like to hit share globally. You know, a lot of people share with just amongst their friends, but I always hit share globally because I just figure, you know, hey, somebody's out there searching for solutions and somebody's out there who needs help, and, you know, we could reach them. My guest tonight is Sharon Walsh, the CEO of Isagenix International, a $9 billion company. So you can imagine, I'm so grateful and humbled that you're here, Sharon. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, this is great. I'm excited to be here. I love this platform and all that you're doing, Sean, and Coach Jesse for helping us set up. I'm looking forward to tonight.
Thank you so much. I hope everybody can just appreciate the significance of having Sharon with us. She's had a very busy day. She had a big, I'm sure it was like a national or international conference call this morning. You've been at it all day. I was thinking about it, Sharon. Today, it kind of hit me that ERShred and you coming in as the CEO, they coincide exactly. And yeah, it's like it was September 24th, I think, was when they announced you, or thereabouts. They announced you as the CEO of Isagenix International. And we launched ERShred in October, which was just, you know, October 3rd, actually. So you're talking about within a week there.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. ERShred's gone global. I can tell you, I was just on with the Australian leaders, and
no, they're a lot of fun, actually. Yeah, and you're from Australia, and you were also the general manager of Australia, the president of Australia, right?
Yeah, I started my time with Isagenix down there in 2009. It was January. January 26th, yesterday was my anniversary, my 14 years. So down in 2009, took on the role as general manager for Australia and New Zealand when Isagenix was really, really small, just finding our way in Australia and New Zealand. And
you were there. I want to brag on you so you don't leave this out, but it became our strongest market at that time.
We had an incredible journey in Australia, Sean. We had a really small business in 2009, and then over the course of the next 5 years, it just became, again, collaboration. Great leaders like yourself came together and partnered with corporate, and we just did something really special. It's one of the most fun, enjoyable, and satisfying experiences for sure. Became, you know, one of the largest companies down there in Australia and our biggest international success story. So it was pretty cool. Yeah. A lot of great people were behind that.
What's cool about that is that you were once a distributor. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was. So I spent some time, I took a gap in my career. It was actually my husband, though. My husband took some time out, and he took a look at a company that turned out to be a network marketing company. Mm-hmm. And it was he who encouraged me, dragged me along a little bit to get involved. And it was a really wonderful experience. Still, probably some of the most valuable lessons that have served me well, especially in my time with Isagenix.
Yeah, for sure. So tell me this, how did you originally get involved in the direct sales arena?
Yeah, well, I would say that one of my first, really the foundation of my career was developed initially in technology, cable television, internet as it was rolling out in Australia. Australia was one of the last kind of Western countries to embrace and have cable television. And so whilst I was developing my career and working in many different roles in that company, everything we did went to market through direct selling, even back in the day, door-to-door selling. So to really learn that business and support the growth of that company, I had to be across that and understand the sales process. Then I found my way in between companies in a network marketing company along with my husband, and we dove in and we worked full time. We worked that business full time. And coming out of that, the reason I stepped away is that that company changed the goalpost for me. And I was really shooting for a target. We were working towards a certain place in the comp plan. And when that changed, it just took the wind out of my sails a little bit. Right. So I went back into corporate, and my husband stayed working the business into direct selling and direct marketing companies. And that's where I'd spent the lion's share of my career. And that's what led me here to Isagenix.
So cool. And do you mind telling us, like, we always ask the questions when we start our Come Alive calls, like, where are you originally from?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Australia, born and bred, and
what part of Australia?
Sydney. I grew up in Sydney, and then my husband was in the military in Australia and a rugby player down there. We met at work in that cable technology company and had 3 children, all born in Australia, and brought them over here when they were 6, 7, and 9. And now they're 15, 16, and 18. It feels like that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. What was that like when you got the call, like, hey, Sharon, we want you at corporate headquarters in the US? Was that exciting? Was that like, oh crap, I guess we're going to Australia or going to the States?
It was interesting, Sean. It was exciting for me initially, but then when you think about it, and parents I'm sure can relate, oh wow, we're going to uproot the kids and change everything, and my husband's whole world and network was down there. So it actually took us a while. It was really across the course of almost a year before we said, all right, let's do it. Do it. So it was a tough decision.
That's amazing. And he's amazing, by the way. The husband who says, okay, I support you. I mean, I'm just going to throw swords up for him, because that shows mad equality. And, that takes humility for a man to say, hey, we're going there, and you're essentially, I would assume, the provider in your family, or one of the predominant providers in your family. Like, I have mad respect for that.
Yeah.
That brings me to my next question. You are, you're a rarity in that this is not some small company. This is a behemoth of a company, Isagenix. I can't imagine everything that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. Like, it's what I would never hope for, truthfully, because it just sounds too hard and too overwhelming. I feel like what I do and the nature of our relationship, I do one part of the business, you do another very important part of the business. We're partners. But I just think about you being one of the rarities in America, where you're the CEO of a major corporation. Have you enjoyed your last, I guess it's been 2.5 years in that capacity? How's that been?
Yeah, that's I was fortunate. I've been with Isagenix now, 14 years. And so I got to grow into the next role, learning more. But of course, when you take that step and you realize how many people you're responsible for, how your decisions and actions can impact so many people, that can be a little bit overwhelming. I won't lie. And I stepped into the role at a really challenging time. But again, I love Isagenix, very passionate about this company. And I've had the opportunity to really grow into this company and learn, from being in an international country to overseeing international markets, opening new markets, coming into US supporting sales and marketing. It's given me a great platform to continue to grow and expand. And
yeah. And if they did a thing for you and all your friends were there and all your family's there, and they say, we're going to have Sharon Walsh, the CEO of Isagenix International, and she's going to say a few words. Like, I'm just thinking, like, mad respect is all I want to say. Like, I have such mad respect for you because what you do is not only incredibly hard, but I mean, talk about the pressure. You just mentioned the pressure, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenging time for all of us.
Right.
All of you in leadership roles, even leading your family, there has been some challenges for sure. So pressure is a big part of it, and it can drive you, or it can drive you in a positive way, or it can drive you in a negative way. And that's the work we have to do every day to make sure we're using it to drive us in a positive way.
Right. What is your passion? We always ask this on our Come Alive calls. What is your passion in life? Doesn't have to be Isagenix related even.
Yeah. I feel like I should have some, really cool answer for you, but my passion, I do love my work and I love business. That's something I really enjoy and I do it anyway.
Can't
But
be that.
sorry?
Can't be that.
Can't be that. No. So really it's around my family and my kids. I just love, taking them to different places, traveling, hanging out together. Like I said, I have 3 kids now, teenagers, and people used to say to me, it goes fast. And when I had 3 kids under 3, I thought, oh my gosh, nothing goes fast. My days take forever, but it really does. And so I just love spending as much time as we can, exploring different places and doing different things. That's probably where I'm, the most happiest. I love English football. I'm learning American football. The 2 teams I went for on the weekend went down. So
okay, so you follow that. You saw that Messi apologized today, actually, for his actions.
He did, yes.
Yes. That was nice for my kid to see that.
That was great. So my son plays soccer, and that's become a big part of our lives. And we're all pretty passionate about it. Going to those games in international locations is really exciting and fun. I love that.
That is so cool. So you're like the soccer mom too.
That's right. Big time soccer mom. Yep.
Are you the crazy soccer mom that's like,
I'm pretty chill. I've learned my lessons over time. I'm pretty chill. But
I got to work on that.
And he's 16 now. He'd kill me if I was to do that.
Yeah, they get to a point where they just look at you like, you better shut up.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask you, what is your perception of ERShred? Like, what do you perceive us as? You mentioned it from the stage. I really appreciated that. It meant so much to me because I think there's people that have misperceived our intentions. And that I'm a team player. I know about you. Let me tell you what I know about you. If ever there was a player's coach in terms of management, Sharon Walsh is it. She cares. Like, I played a lot of sports. You want to go to battle with the coach who actually gives a darn about you. You don't want to go to battle for the coach that's just always X's and O's and robotic and formal. And so Sharon Walsh, you to me, I want to go to battle with you. I want you to lead us into battle. Like when you give those speeches, I've seen you on video. I've seen you, live and in person. We've been friends for a very long time. You've certainly earned my trust. And, and I'm actually pretty damn hard. I'm a hard win over. I am. I'm like a really hard win over. And you've brought me back to the belief in Isagenix that I had lost. And for that, I'm so grateful. And for any distributors out there who you lost your way, you became disillusioned. Like, you got to give Sharon Walsh a chance, and you got to give this Isagenix a chance again, because I'm telling you right now, we kind of had a moment of identity crisis. We did. I'm not afraid to talk about it. Like, I don't believe in just, painting the picture as you think it should be or as you want people to perceive it. I believe in painting the picture as it is. And I think that that's part of the reason that people become confused and disillusioned, is because they don't know what's going on. I've also never met a corporate leader who's as transparent as Sharon Walsh. She's just unbelievably transparent and says it like it is, and exactly like it is. She doesn't sugarcoat it. She doesn't shove Kool-Aid down your throat. Do you want to speak to any of that, Sharon, and how you kind of feel about ERShred?
Yeah, I think ERShred's a great example of this interdependent relationship we have. This corporate who facilitate product, getting it to customers, commission, all of that stuff should be ticking over and supporting you. But the beautiful thing about this industry and about our company is that we can really facilitate this opportunity for entrepreneurs and people to develop their own culture inside and underneath the umbrella of Isagenix, because Isagenix doesn't have to be everything all the time for all the people the same way. And what you've done with ERShred is you're mad supporters of the Isagenix products, developed your own protocol using them, creating a community that helps people feel good, look good, whatever it is that they're looking for. And you've done that as your own culture. That is a big part of Isagenix. And that is what this industry is really all about. It's not about us dictating, take this product, share this story, post this. It's not about that. Sure, we'll help people who want that level of support. But the ERShred community, that's the magic of this opportunity of this company, that you're able to find your own space that feels really aligned for you and create a culture for others to come along and be very, Sean, you're very inclusive.
Yeah.
And I think ERShred's, a wonderful example, and the leadership that you've created and that your team have brought together, that collaboration, that's what this industry is all about.
Yeah. All you ERShredders out there, breathe it in. Just breathe that in, because it's just. Lenny Evans would say that is delicious. That's very delicious.
And that's the nature of this relationship. We can be as great as we can do everything well. And let's face it, we're always going to have different challenges. But without the participation of the leadership and the ownership of the leadership, it really doesn't come together. And there's a real balance. There's a real balance. If the company does everything, you lack that, you lose that entrepreneurial drive and spirit and the ability to align in a way that feels meaningful for a culture and a group of people. That's what we're really encouraging with Isagenix, and sticking to who we are.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much. Wow, thank you. And I want to speak to maybe where that comes from for you. You can say whether or not this is true or not. So Sharon, having come from the field in network marketing, she is a rarefied leader, someone who actually worked in the field, knows that role very well. And she also now has worked at the highest level in the corporate arena, which is it's just the other side of the model. You've got the field, you've got you've got corporate. And as Sharon pointed out, they do a lot for us. But guess what? This is what everybody seems to forget sometimes, is they're not cult leaders. They're actually a business. They're fulfilling business activities for us. They perform functions for us, such as legal, such as shipping and receiving, customer service, research and development, inventory, and so forth. Like, it's all stuff that they take off of our shoulders. This is why anybody that's been in the small business or home-based business model, I'm talking about home, let's call it a family business, small business, family business, anybody that's been self-employed like that, they, more than anybody, understand the role that corporate plays for distributors like myself. My parents actually owned 31 different types of businesses since 1973. Prior to Isagenix, they owned and operated 30 different self-employed endeavors. People don't know this. So they understand what corporate does for us. I understand what corporate does for us. Corporate also needs us. They need us. Guess what? Corporate can't get nothing done without us, because guess where all the money comes from? Corporate's not the ones, they don't go out and initiate the lifeblood of any business, which is the revenue. That's our job. So we have this symbiotic, beautiful relationship. And I really love that. For the first time in my career, I feel like you get me. I just want to say that you get me in a way that I feel valued and I feel appreciated. I feel equal. I feel loved. I don't feel like you think, you're up here because of your education or because of the way you can give a public speech, or because of whatever. It's such a, not that we all have to be the same, but when two people can recognize that, and I feel it from you, Sharon, like I just want to thank you again. Like I've never in my career felt so valued as I do by you, the person. And I'll keep saying it to everyone I talk to, because to me, I wouldn't be back involved in working hard in Isagenix if it wasn't for you.
And that would be a loss for all of us, Sean. So I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And what you've done, what you've done is something really, really special. Creating ERShred, creating the culture, and just seeing it grow and grow. And I went to say this earlier, I've not met an unhappy ERShredder. Anyone who I've come across, they're all very proud and passionate about ERShred. So,
we like to call ourselves high vibers. We're much more than a culture, though. We have our own code of ethics. We have our own core values. We actually we do mindset. Like when I say we do mindset, we have something called the Shredder mindset, where we have all kinds of professionals in that industry who show up and offer their the best of what they got. I guess I'll just share with you how ERShred came to be, and I haven't shared this for a long time, but when it first started, I was not able to use the Isagenix products. It was really frustrating because I thought that I was this healthy person, and I had a health crisis. And I realized, like, I feel like a fraud because I'm not that healthy. And so when the concepts that formed ERShred came into being, it was a result of me. It was just a result of me getting well. And then it was like, oh my God, we need to help people with this knowledge. And the first people I thought of was all the Isagenix people, because I love them so much. I love Isagenix so much. And, this is the old Isagenix logo. You remember this?
The ISA guy, yes.
The ISA guy. We like to refer to him as the ISA angel. Yeah, and I like to think of the ISA angel still looking over us, and that, to me, that now kind of represents John Anderson, the late John Anderson, the one of the founders of Isagenix. But just like you find that ERShredders love ERShred so much and they're all happy, high vibers, it's the same with Isagenix. I mean, we love Isagenix and we want to grow the business model that is Isagenix. And the way we left it open-ended was, the thought was, well, we can do this with just our immediate team. But then we thought that is somewhat divisive. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If we opened it up to the entire company, then people might better interpret our intentions, which is, just as you said, it's pretty damn simple. It's get results, bring people joy, make a difference in people's lives, generate income off these wonderful products. And it's just that simple. And so we opened it up, and as a result, that's been the coolest part, because I think me early on in business, I was more like territorial. I was more like, you know what I mean? Like, there's only so much market share. And now I think the evolution of me, and apparently the evolution of corporate as well, which is beautiful. Like, oh my gosh, is that no. We don't build walls. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what we do in this Isagenix culture. My parents always believed, my mom and dad, Tony and Randy Escobar, they always had this belief that no matter what team you were in, if you're in Isagenix, you're part of an Isagenix family. That's beautiful, man.
And it was one of our strengths, Sean. And you're right. A lot of leaders along the way have to learn, they get a little bit closed, and I don't want you to talk to my people. But when, rising tide, all ships rise in a rising tide. And that's something that leaders come to learn and embrace and share skill set. And I think it serves the overall community. So over the last 3 years, that's been hard because people have been disconnected. But now we're seeing more of that coming together. You've built a great community, and a lot of people are seeing that and saying, wow, that's really cool. So I'm looking forward to being able to have more of that inclusivity and connectivity during 2023.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Can you speak to, what has the economic, no, let me reframe that. What has the pandemic since 2020, what effect has that had on our industry as a whole? And where are we today? And where do you see us going?
Well, I think that overall, there was the initial, I think the things that are lasting, the lasting effects, because there were different periods of time throughout that process. But the lasting effect is that there's definitely a greater awareness on overall health and well-being, taking responsibility and taking steps to ensure we protect, prevent, our well-being. So that's something that's really stuck, and we've seen across demographics. It's not just the older people, the boomers, the Gen X. It's really something that has opened up. Even millennials that now represent the largest percentage of population, very passionate about well-being, prevention, anti-aging, focus, optimizing their experience. So as we're seeing that evolve, that's opening new opportunities for us. We've always had tremendous success as a weight loss solution. Our clinical studies just show time and time again just how outstanding our results are. I mean, truly outstanding when compared to all of the other studies that happened in any course of time. But beyond that, seeing the benefits of cleansing playing out in our well-being, regenerative health, anti-aging becomes increasingly important. And you'll see us developing nootropics, NAD, which is a powerful anti-aging preventative product. So there's more and more opportunity for us as we continue to stay true to our core, which is the well-being focus with weight loss as a side effect or a side benefit, and really just expanding that well-being space. So we're excited about that opportunity, and watching the next generations really embrace that as well. It's exciting for the future of our company. And we're also seeing people learn lessons, Sean. A lot of things came out of that. Financial health, not being all in on one means of income was something that we saw people devastated. It was one of the most brutal things to watch. Family businesses closing. And then as a result, when people were forced to stay home and take a break from their crazy schedules, we see the great resignation. People saying, I'm out, I'm done. I am not going to do the 9 to 5 grind and be told when to work, where to work, and how to work. So that was a huge change. And it's really played out. I can tell you, looking for people to work, there is a real shift in the labor market. And so what that's led to is more and more people saying, I'm looking for an alternative way. I'm looking for an alternative way. And now we're seeing the shakedown of tech companies that hired like crazy during those pandemic years are now shedding, and there's a lot of layoffs. So you have this interesting dynamic, good and bad for some people, where people are looking for a new way. They're saying, I want to make a choice. And others kind of being forced to reinvent themselves a little bit. And that's why over the years, people have struggled a little bit with Isagenix. I don't know how to talk about the money or the business, or they feel a little bit uneasy doing that. Well, I think more than ever, we're seeing and hearing people talk about the money, alternative ways to work, different side hustles, side gigs, opportunities. And sometimes for those of us that have been in Isagenix a long time, you don't realize, wow, we've got something really special. We changed up the PIB to be a straight 20%.
Which is product introductory bonus.
Product introductory bonus. Thank you. I get caught up in the jargon like everybody else, but changing that up for people where they're earning just that 20% of what they sell is much more intuitive. They get it. I do this, I get that, has really helped simplify the offering for those people that are looking like they've never looked before. So talking about the money is more important now than ever, as is, of course, helping people understand how Isagenix replaces some of your existing spend.
Yes, and you guys, thanks to you, you guys have come out with a couple of really great videos that show people how the income is generated, how lucrative the opportunity is. And, I love that Isagenix doesn't overpromise. Like, we are one of the best we're right up there with the best financial offerings, and for people to generate additional income from home in their free time. We're one of the best that's available, but we're not gonna overpromise. We're not gonna do that, because that's not our culture. Our culture is, we underpromise and overdeliver always.
Yeah.
That's how we run.
And keep it real. Consumers are not just going to be misled and led into false promises and people overstating just how easy it is, because you and I both know that a genuine income takes genuine work.
It does. It's, people look at the quality of life once you get there, and they're envious of it. There's work involved. And, I think at times we do a disservice, though. I think we do a disservice at times, us reps, because we kind of make it sound like we worked harder than we really did, because we want that respect. You see what I'm saying? We want the props. We want people to be like, you want people to be like, oh, whoa, they worked so hard for that. We don't realize that if we embellish upon that for the sake of our own ego and gratification, we're actually doing them a disservice. Because to generate my Isagenix success, which absolutely liberated me financially, did I have to work harder than all these other guys that go to a job every day? No, I didn't, to be truthful. And that's me being humble, because my ego tells me, make them all think that you really, really earned it, Hey, everybody works hard. It's just whether or not, what you're doing has leverage. Everybody works hard no matter what you do. Yeah. And so I want to speak to something that you brought up in my mind, which was, you talked about the economy. Maybe that we'll talk about that last. What about AI? This is artificial intelligence. I want to speak to that, and I want to get your opinion on it. But my opinion, really quickly, is this: AI, it doesn't sit well with me. And the reason it doesn't sit well with me is because I feel like there should not be such a thing as artificial anything. ERShredders are very naturalistic. We're old meets new. We're the old way of eating, the old way of living, coupled with the new recent scientific advances. We put those together. That's what we're about. Artificial what? Artificial flavorings, artificial intelligence, artificial everything. It's, to me, the word artificial, I'm going to resist that right at face value. I'm concerned with where the world is heading, and I actually believe that people are not craving artificial. I think they're craving real and genuine and human interaction. What do you think?
Look, I absolutely agree. I do think that, as you've probably heard, things like ChatGPT and AI developing tools and ways of working that could really replace human beings writing content and answering questions. And it's like self-driving cars. Oh boy, I want to stay away from a self-driving car, right? So those things they're definitely confronting, and they create a lot of questions. But nevertheless, they're things that are ever present, and we have to stay across it and understand it. Can it be used as a useful tool? Potentially, when it comes to answering questions in chat and so on. But it's something that we definitely have to consider. People that are employed in certain skill sets would be more concerned than others. But here's something that I believe that you shared. That person-to-person connection that we've all, we missed that so much over the last few years. You can't replace that. You cannot replace what it feels like to do what we're doing, to interact, to be together physically in a room like we were at NYKO, and like different groups get together. There's no replacement for that. And that is a wonderful attribute that we have as a company, that our company's built on, that is here to stay. Technological advances, artificial intelligence cannot replace that interactivity and human connection. That is the fundamental part of this business.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Our business model almost requires that we employ products that, merit support. It's like I always told people, 50% of people's success actually is a result of what? It's of support and community and, ongoing nurturing. Without that, I actually think the majority of people fail on products.
Yeah. There are whole companies built. There's product companies. Then you've got platforms that are out there just for the support. And here we are at Isagenix, we bring it all together because you're right. It enhances people's success and their experience tremendously. So I think the person to person, even with the emergence of social media platforms, people building their businesses or connecting on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, who knows what it's going to be tomorrow. But the essence of that relationship and the longevity of that relationship rests upon how quickly they connect offline. So even with the emergence of those types of platforms, that connectivity and the person-to-person communication and connection is still the fundamental driver of how long that relationship lasts and the quality of that relationship. So
beautiful. Yeah, all relationship based, person to person. My parents would say, see the color of their eyeballs. My
belly, yeah,
belly to belly. My mom always said, I witnessed this. It's really what makes my mom magic. Every Isagenix person that she ever had an opportunity to speak to, and she would inquire, what is your dream? And it was so meaningful for people to be able to share that with her, and to have her sit and take that in. And a lot of times my mom would remember these dreams. Out of all the thousands of people my mom would interact with, every now and then someone would come up and they'd say, hi, Randy, remember me? And she'd say, yes, you're the world traveler. And they're just like, their mind is blown. But my mom really does. My mom and my dad love people. They love people. They love you. Like, they're crazy about you.
Yeah, and likewise, I love them. They're great people. And your mom is very special, as is your dad. But I can see that happening all over the place with her.
So here's my last subject matter that I hope to cover with you is this. I had a meeting with my financial advisor on this was last Thursday, and I said to him, because I'm observing the cycle of the economy, I've started to realize more and more that network marketing is somewhat cyclical. It is. I mean, there's seasons throughout the year that, it's grow time. There's seasons throughout, actually throughout the decades. Whereas, sometimes it's not the opportune time to be building. You still can, you still do, you still have success, but it's not easy pickings, if you will. So with that in mind, I said to my financial advisor, I said, Rhett, why is the economy, why am I still seeing home prices up? Why am I still seeing people, at Costco every day of the week dropping hundreds and thousands of dollars? Consumerism. I said, it doesn't add up to me. I mean, I've been around long enough to be able to read the signs. With the economic stimulus that we've seen repeatedly, with the inflation that we've seen, now we're seeing, Amazon just laid off something like 20,000 people. Google just laid off thousands of people. We're seeing all of that, major corporations laying off tens of thousands. And then I said to him, when is the economy officially going to dip and reset? And he said 6 to 9 months was his answer. He said, what people don't realize is that there's a lag effect. And he said, we're long overdue, but based on all the markers that we've seen, based on interest rates and everything they've done around that, based on the cost of goods, within the next 6 to 9 months, we will see that dip in home values. We will see consumer spending drop, and we're going to see a lot of, of course, with that, there's a lot of unfortunate things that happen to individuals, people losing homes, losing businesses. It's, and what's funny, I'm not saying that it's a good thing It's just cyclical. Our industry does better in those times. I'm a professional. I've been in this industry my whole life. That's all I've done for a living for the last 21 years. When the economy suffers and resets, recessions, we thrive. We grow. So I just want you to give your opinion on that and the opportunity that exists currently in Isagenix. Would you speak to that? Because I actually believe there's a lot of people that are going to see this and they either have left Isagenix or they're frozen and they're kind of like just waiting. They're stagnant, if you will. A lot of those, and a lot of people that probably are evaluating opportunities right now and saying, hey, if that's coming, if they said, I sense that too. I agree with Sean. Someone's got to pay the piper. Like, it's inevitable. It's going to get tough times. I better prepare. I better look for creative alternative ways of generating leveraged income. Can you, I know it's not your role to play, but I heard you do this at New Year Kickoff and I was like, dang. So feel free to take as long as you want and just go there. Sure. If you could.
Look, I think it's inevitable. We're seeing that. We're seeing things adjust here. We're seeing house prices move and interest rates move. All of that is designed to have an impact on the economy. It's designed to slow the economy down, slow spending down. And what happens, we went through that in 2008 and 2009 when it was the biggest financial crisis I'd ever seen in my life. And, there were a lot of things that took place with in the economy. And what we saw at that time is what I expect to see now. For the people who understand that, truly engage, and help people see the value proposition of Isagenix, you can start to build, like any investment, now's the time to pour the sweat equity in. We don't ask you to pour financial investment in, but it's sweat equity. Time to really build, show people the value, how to share the Isagenix products, how to use the Isagenix products to offset their own spending, and how to start to build a business over time. Sure, the PIBs are great upfront money, but how to build that organization over time, how to really support a customer base. Because as we come through this period of time, those people that are engaging in those behaviors right now are going to be the ones when the market turns, and it will turn. It's a cycle. It's an economic cycle. There are levers in the economy designed to slow it up, and then it will speed up. Those who are engaging right now and telling the story and sharing the Isagenix opportunity in a credible way will be the beneficiaries, will definitely be the beneficiaries, because people are out there looking for opportunities. And there are so many different things that if you're not sharing Isagenix, if you're not talking to people about the money, about the business opportunity, I assure you someone will. I don't know what they'll show them. I don't know if it'll be how to make money on YouTube, how to buy and sell things on eBay. There are more and more offerings coming out. What you have at Isagenix, you may well be so used to it, you don't see it for just how amazing it is. The 20% PIB is as competitive as any affiliate model that's out in the market today. A lot of people are looking to do that if they've got a social media following. And then you've got this incredible back end that over time, with support, can grow a leveraged income that many of our leaders and many of you enjoy once the work is done. So now 2023 is the year for sweat equity, to really invest in your organization. Talk about the money, do it in a credible, ethical way that gives people reasonable and fair expectations, and then support them through the process with the community. 2024, 2025, that's when you'll see growth. I guarantee, I can almost assure you, and I said this at NYKO, people that are growing in 2024 and 2025 will be the people that have engaged in their organization, in their business building activities right now. This next 6 to 9 months, if you're in the trenches and you're really actively out there telling the story in a meaningful and effective way, your business in 2023 will respond positively as a result of what you're doing today. If you wait and say, I'm going to see how it goes, I'm going to wait and see what happens with the economy, you'll find yourself at the end of the year, sure, economy slowed down. behind the eight ball,
Mm.
very much behind the eight ball. We saw this play out. History, do they say, doesn't repeat itself? We saw this play out in 2008 and 2009, and we had incredible growth in 12, 13. Oh my gosh, it was insane. 10, 11, 12, 13 was crazy, and many people in Isagenix prospered very much. We'll see that play out right now, but I assure you, if you're interested, now is the time to engage, learn how to share the business, learn how to share the money, and do it in an ethical and meaningful way that brings value to people. Do that now for the next 6 to 9 months, and you will see the benefit of that. 2003 and 2004, you will see the benefit of that. That I assure you. You will not be able to grow your business next year if you're not engaged right now.
That's right. What would you, Sharon, what would you say to someone who says, well, Isagenix has been around a long time and, 21 years now, going on 21 years, I think. And maybe that opportunity is washed up. Maybe there's saturation. Maybe I should find something that's new and fresh. What do you think on that?
I would say that the fact that Isagenix has been around 20 years, the fact that we've achieved so much and have such an credible brand and a credible story is the first check in the box. Mm-hmm. Jumping into something new, that's where all the risk is. I think we all understand small business alone, the number of small businesses that make it through to 5 years is incredibly small, something like 10%. In our industry, it's no different. So looking for a network.
I know the statistic. It's 1 in 5,000.
There you go, 1 in 5,000. I wasn't sure if it was.
In our industry, it's 1 in 5,000.
1 in 5,000. And if you're going to invest the time, effort, and energy it takes to build and support a team, you have to know first thing that this company will be here for you. For when your business is flourishing, for 5, 10 years down the road, when they're true, you need to know that this company is going to be here. Isagenix checks that box. We don't sit still at Isagenix. Yes, our formulas that John developed and created, they're still with us today, but as regulations change, we're ensuring that we stay at the very leading edge. We've developed new products with organic vitamins and minerals because they're available now. NAD, collagen elixir, one of our biggest selling products, we just launched in 2021, brand new space. But what is tried and true is that binary back-end compensation plan is incredibly rewarding. And the reason we're still very proud of it is because it stood the test of time, still performing the way it was designed to. Evolve the front end to make it more attractive, simpler. But this is a company that is here for the long term. We say it's a legacy company. It's not about anyone's legacy. It's about everybody's legacy. That this company can continue to evolve, meet the market, even lead the market with some new product developments, and continue to create a very, very attractive compensation plan. Let me reflect on that for a minute. Today, 21 years down the road.
You're Sharon, your volume, your mic went fuzzy again.
Mic went fuzzy. Oh, it's telling me.
Try to click mute and then click it again or something. I don't know what you can do there. I want you to.
Yes, we just done a really important.
That's crazy. I don't know what that is. Okay. Let's see here. Jesse, maybe you can on the back end. I don't know.
I see the problem.
Okay. Sharon's muted, and I think she's frozen right now. Hang tight, everybody. We're experiencing just a little bit of technical difficulties. Jesse's texting me. Jesse, she's frozen now. Is there, Sharon, are you frozen? Yes. Unless you just go a long time without blinking. How do we unfreeze her? Or is it her internet that's doing it? Oh, there she is. Any better?
How's audio? Any better?
Perfect. And what I want
Okay.
to do, you know what I'd like to do in closing. Oh, no, I lost you. Are you there? She was there. Now I think it's just me. I'm hoping that he says text her to click out and click back into the call.
I'm here. Can you see me?
Ah, there you are.
Okay. So I just wanted to share one last thing, Sean,
And
about
this. I want you to close out the call.
Great.
And I want you to also invite all of our collective friends and family out there to take a hard look at Isagenix. Uh-oh, here it goes again. He said you might want to just click out and click back in. So there she goes. We'll cross our fingers that we can hear a closing statement from Sharon Walsh. The Braveheart speech. Freedom. Sharon's cool. She's not your average CEO. She's like really cool with it. Just kind of new age in that way, you know.
I'm back.
I can hear.
How does that sound?
It's you've got the floor to close us out.
All right. Well, I just wanted to say, Sean, after 21 years, here we are at Isagenix, looking at everything that's happening in the market and continuing to stay competitive, ultra competitive. What we're offering with development, with our new 20% program, our fantastic binary backend is as competitive as any other offering that's out there.
It's not there. It's not there, darling. And you know what? I'm sitting here listening to it, and I'm actually not that picky of a person, and people are so picky. Like, oh my gosh, people are picky, so they'll be like, I can't listen to this. It's, you know what I'm saying? How about
now? So frustrating that
Let's give it another go. Have at it.
Okay, so look, but while I've got some audio, I want to share with you that Isagenix has so much to offer for friends, family, and it's not always about a big income. People need different things in their lives. Sean spoke about different seasons, and there are some new seasons ahead of us, I assure you. Our products have proven, they've stood the test of time, and we continue to evolve. Well-being and looking after ourselves is a priority. That's not going anywhere. And we've been able to continue to evolve our financial offering to meet people where they are at. So for those of you who have been with Isagenix for a long time, don't take for granted what you have. Maybe you're not as excited as you once were because you're so used to it here at Isagenix. But there are more people out there hoping, wondering, looking for different opportunities for their health and for their financial well-being. So take a step forward, take a leap of faith, plug them into the ERShred community, and just give people an opportunity to understand what's on offer here at Isagenix. I've had a wonderful time with you tonight. I'm sorry about the tech challenges.
We got you to close us out there perfectly. Thank you. It's beautiful.
Thanks you all. Have a lovely evening. Thanks so much, Sean.
Come be with Sharon and I in Orlando in July at the Isagenix celebration. Join us.
We're going to have a fantastic event. We'd love to see you all there. Wear those ERShred shirts loud and proud. Thank you all so much. Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.